Good morning, everybody. How's everybody doing this morning? Well, it's another beautiful day, just not quite as warm. But anyway, I've got time to play, got nothing to do. So I want to come on and give you a little bit of insight on how Robin 2.0 works. So, yesterday, I watched DAR live from beginning to end. And during that period of time, DAR received 3 phone calls while she was on live. Now, I watched the shows again today. And it's only showing 1 phone call. The other 2 that she received, they seem to have disappeared. Now, those 2 phone calls, one was Robin, and the other one I didn't quite get the name, but I'm guessing Petty Furbag. Because afterwards, Dar went on to tell them that she was going to do whatever she was going to do, whether they liked it or not. And, she went right off, she's the boss. Nobody's going to tell her what to do. And that, how she went on to announce that, go ahead, I don't care. Because the first phone call, she said that they were going to leave her. And she's like, fine, go ahead. You're not going to tell me what to do. But anyway, I don't have proof of that, but I'm sure Michael Morgan does. And, she just went on in one of her bellowing bitch modes. And the other thing, yesterday on those shows, if you noticed, there was absolutely nobody in the chat rooms. Not one single person. Now, if you've got over 1,000 subs and you've got 2,000 videos out there and you don't even get a single person in your chat room, what does that tell you? That tells you that the people that have been coming into a chat room are exactly what I said they are. Fake avatars. It is Robin and Jenny and God only knows who else jumping from avatar to avatar so that, they can get in there and get Dar off her bitching. But yesterday, not a single one. So that's what that means. It means nobody real is coming into her room. It's just a bunch of fake avatars, a bunch of fake people. Just like over on Analyzing the Internet Trolls, there's 155 subscribers. No, there's maybe a handful of people. There are a handful of people who have spent the last year or so creating one avatar after another. And all they do is come on and troll. They troll Chris and Holly. They troll Dar, or troll me, and they troll Don Robinson. That's it. That's all they've ever done. Me on occasion. That's usually Robin because she's pissy with me. Hang on, I'm taking my vitamins. Now, at the same time, over on Robin's page, Audrey Rittering Robinson, if that's still her name, because God only knows, Robin's put up 2 videos. Oh, and there's one more channel that Robin is involved in, which is a troll channel that trolls Chris and Holly and Elion, a little 9-year-old boy, is Jimmy Smith, a Real Dark Channel. Now, yesterday also, what was happening was Audrey was putting up videos. And if you go to Audrey's page and you see those videos, she's making a petty deal out of Chris Knippi, Elion's father, putting some orange peels on the ground, saying, it's not what does that say? Nature is not your compost bin. Audrey, if you got out into nature a little bit more, like real nature, you would know that when people are out hunting, they don't throw plastic or beer cans or whatever, but banana peels and all that, absolutely they do. Because animals eat them. It does no harm to anybody to throw an orange peel on the ground. And you have grown up in a city all your life. You're in a city now. You have no in-depth understanding of nature. And I'm sure you'll run to Chat GPT or whatever you do and keep talking to it till you get the answer that you're seeking. And at the same time, she hashtags that to this Elion's father and Jimmy Smith's A Real Dark Channel. Because that is another one of their troll channels. So you've got Jimmy Smith, A Real Dark Channel. You've got Analyzing the Internet Trolls. And they all troll for Dar. Because they troll for Petite Fireball. They were all originally created by and for Petite Fireball. I've got clips of her talking in those channels. Talking to Robin, commenting. Now, I can't remember exactly where that shit was of Robin Collin, and I don't want to say for sure, but it could have been Petty Furbag. But boy, Dar was upset because they told her they weren't going to help her anymore. Now these days, back when this all started, Petty Furbag did not have a job. She didn't really have much of a life. But she's gotten a little busier these days. She married somebody. She's got some... Life's changed for her. And she's trying to clean her act up. Because all that happens is these trolls that are doing this for her that she cannot shut down. are actually reflecting on her channel very badly. And she wants it stopped. She wants Star to stop mentioning her. She wants to be out of the picture. But Dar's drunk, stupid. And she can't shut up about her. Just like she can't shut up about me. And she can't shut up about Michael Morgan. And then on top of that, yesterday, this is hilarious. Robin puts up one of her videos. Really crappy video claiming she was at the farmer's market. But yet, there's no proof that Robin's at the farmer's market in that video. She just puts up a video and that's her, that means she's at the farmer's market in Muskegon. Though this is the same woman that constantly calls me out on my videos. Constantly. So, you know, I'm not allowed to put anything up, for God's sakes. And by the way, Jenny, you should stop putting your hands in your videos, because they're pretty easy to identify. So this is why they don't like Michael Morgan, because Michael Morgan records everything. And he catches them at that, because most people like me, I'm still working, you know, I'm going back and forth and it's quite a distance. I don't have time to record their bullshit, nor it's not my thing. And that is why when Michael Morgan puts up a video, he is trying to show you that she's lying. They're lying. Now, I'm not doing this because I want Dar to disappear, or I want Robin or June or Jenny Roadhart to disappear. I want you, the viewer, to be more aware of what you watch. Be careful. Don't just take things at face value, and don't trust people. Because if you look at the descriptions of Analyzing the Internet Trolls, Robin 2.0, and Jimmy Smith, who, by the way, oh, I just got you back, sorry. Oh, hi, Weird Al, how you doing? I lost you guys for a bit there. So yeah, you cannot believe what they say. You cannot believe what they put on their pages. And they work together because they haven't got anything better to do in their lives. There is not a single video that Robin 2.0 has on her page to prove it is her in it. Not one. Oh, Weird Al, I wanted to thank you for coming in and defending me. I really appreciate that. There are people out there like myself, like Weird Al, like Michael Morgan, that are experienced on YouTube. We've either had channels, we've got other channels, and we know all this. But what these channels do is they manipulate you. And they know it's hard to explain or they know that the amount of time. I mean, I'm not going to sit there and do a page channel like Robin's. I don't have the time. Nobody does if they're functioning in life like a normal human being, has the time to do what these women do. Or they would want to. They do it because they have nothing better to do. I mean, I know for a fact that the only reason they mentioned Kathy Morgan, and I could imagine a lot of you guys would be like, who the hell's Kathy Morgan, other than it's Mike Morgan's wife. The only reason Kathy Morgan gets mentioned is because they are trying to agitate Michael Morgan. That's it. And I will flat out admit, I have absolutely nothing in common with these women. I have nothing in common with June. I have nothing in common with Jenny, Petite Fireball, or Robin. I do have things involved with, in common with Kathy. Kathy is a very hardworking woman. She works full time. And Michael Morgan works. But he doesn't work full time, but that's none of anybody's business. And I don't know if you notice, but every single video those women do, they call me out on my partner. Now, don't you think if I was going to make myself look better than what I am, I would have made myself out to be married? Don't you think if I was going to look better than I am, I wouldn't put that I got 5 kids? Because people go, Jesus, Cindy, what the hell? No. I am telling you bits and pieces of my life, which are my bits and pieces to share with YouTube. It is not for any of those bitches to demand that I show them anything or tell, provide any proof for them. That's how fucked in the head they are. They're like children. I have offered to do a live with Robin. She won't do it. I've offered many times. Mike's offered to do live with Robin. She won't do it because they're sneaky. So I don't know about you guys, but the one phone call, she was in the house getting some beer or whatever, and the phone started ringing. And she came out and she answered it, and she was pissed off because she was told to stop talking about Petite Fireball. And then they started texting her a bit, and they told her that they were going to abandon her. So the other thing is hungry. You're doing great on your own. I'm not telling you what to do. But June is not a nice person. I know you're younger and you think an older woman, you might relate that in your mind to your grandmother, who was probably a lovely woman. This is not what these women are. These are very trashy women who have pissed their lives away. And now they're older and they're struggling and they're resentful of anybody that has anything. I said it I think it was yesterday. I don't care that they worked or they didn't work. I have never had a problem with sharing. Hi, Ladybug. My tax dollars or my charity with anyone in need. But these bitches are so self-centered that they put people down that work. They put me down for working. I don't have a rough husband. And frankly, I'm not attracted to that type of man. And in Canada, you don't see a lot of men like that unless you go to Alberta, which is like, what, how many thousands of miles away from me? Canada is a huge country. Huge. You could fit United States in it twice. I've never been attracted to that type of man like Marty or Robin's biker boyfriend who hates everybody. Absolutely hates Muslim. You ought to look at his Facebook page. It is so, every single comment is racist and full of hate. I've never been attracted to that type of man. Someone like June or Dar or Robin think, you know, a man that walks around with his legs far apart because his balls are too big to fit in him, or is constantly grumbling and bitching and calling them fucking drunks and bitches and all that, they love that. That's a man to them. Well, that's not what a man here is in Canada. A man in Canada is somebody who is nice, funny, fun to talk with, a good friend, a good partner. That's what women here look for. And that's why I think men over here are different. But it does not mean they're gay. But I understand June being American, and June's been in Pennsylvania her entire life. She doesn't understand that in different countries there are different things. Men are what women find desirable are different. And I know that they all are jealous because I have total freedom. I've got financial backing, and I can do whatever the fuck I want without being yelled at, screamed at, and treated poorly. But so can he. There's times where I don't see Chuck for a week because he's up north. I don't need him with me constantly. We've been together for 30 years. We've known each other since before I moved to the States. At this point in time, neither one of us are going anywhere. And if you listen to Dar's show, I have exactly what she wants. It's jealousy. And then June coming out and saying Robin is beautiful. No. I'm sure she has redeeming qualities. I'm sure there's things that she's good at, but she is not a beautiful woman. And the only way they can accept my pictures is that they're AI. They're not. The one on my Facebook right now I don't know if it's an AI or not, but I put out plenty over the years. And every single one that they put up about me is completely distorted. Or they make me look bad. Though, the last one, Robin, was pretty close. Except, Robin, I've got dark hair right now. You got that wrong. They are mad at me for the things that they are lacking in life. Every woman wants to find a good partner. I did. But I had my road, hard road to get there. My first husband died of cancer and left me with with children. So you can imagine what that was like, being young and not being able to have a partner to help me with raise my children. None of what I say about my life makes me out to be any better than anybody else. They come out and, I say that I was out on a boat. Well, that's my boat. No, that isn't my boat. That's my son-in-law's boat. The cottage up north, that's my daughter's cottage. Chuck and I are a senior couple that live in London, Ontario, Canada. We do senior things, like most productive seniors. June and Robin, and obviously Jenny, are not productive women. And like I said, that's their thing. That's the way they want to be. That's the way they want to be. But they just cannot stand the fact that I have what they wanted. All these women wanted to grow up and have a white picket fence and have a partner in their old age and not have to worry about money. And they didn't achieve that because they stopped, not because they did it themselves, because they did not want to work. June once come on and said that she had a job selling magazines. So she went into a job interview and told an employer that, put her best foot forward and told an employer that she was hardworking and everything else. Then she got the job, and she would get on the phone, and when she didn't like the way the person was talking to her, she would fuck with them. And she thought that was funny. Now, I have been an employer. I've had employees. And she is an employer's nightmare. You hire people because you want them to put their best foot forward, and then you get somebody like June who is helping to bring their company down. But she lies about it. She lied to that employer. Audrey, this whole Bissell factory bullshit, give me a fucking break. Yes, and I agree with that, Ladybug. Pretty comes from inside out. But there is a standard of beauty. We wouldn't have beauty pageants. You can walk down the street and say, that's a pretty woman. And that varies. Some people find brunettes pretty. Some people find blondes pretty. Same as we do guys. You find your man handsome. I find my man handsome. That's outside beauty. But there is nothing about Audrey that is beautiful. There's nothing about Audrey that's kind. Audrey is a bitch, and so is June, so is Dar, and so is Jenny Roadhart. If we didn't, beauty isn't everything, but it is a thing. And I mean, haven't you ever walked down the street and go, God, I wished I had her long hair? Or haven't you ever watched a beauty pageant? Yes, of course we do. But it isn't the end all and be all of someone's personality. Now, if I was going to compliment Robin, I would compliment her by saying that she's inconsistent. That's, there's things about her, I'm sure, that are quite attractive, but she is not beautiful. And the type of beauty that you're talking about, Rhonda, is the type of beauty that I guess helps us develop friendships. I know when I meet somebody, there's qualities about them, not the way they look, but are you able to laugh with them? Are they loyal in a good way? Are they going to be a good person in your life? That's beauty, not what Audrey's got going on. Yeah, exactly. But June's talking about physical beauty, and I'm talking about physical beauty, which another example would be Darlene's mother is an absolutely stunning person. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful woman when she was younger. But I can look at Darlene and I can see her mother in her. But Darlene has destroyed her life. She's destroyed her appearance. And she's done that on her own. Nobody's responsible for that but Darlene. But yet Darlene's still on there going, I'm beautiful. Well, that's Robin. That's June. June didn't get the way she got by being an active person in society. She doesn't, her illnesses now that are showing up are a lot to do with her obesity. And when she has talked about her past, she's negative. She thinks it's funny to hurt other people. And it's all caught up to her. And it's caught up to Robin. And it's caught up to Jenny Rhodes. That's why Jenny won't show her face either. But yet they demand that I show mine. Yet there's hundreds of pictures out there about me. It's ridiculous. But anyway, I wanted to come on. Rhonda, what are you doing these days? I wanted to come on and let you know that if you're going to watch those shows of Darlene, there was a large part of it, the one show taken out. And that's because Darlene was drunk and stupid enough and announced who called her. And then without even thinking, went on to say why they called her. But Robin and Darlene have gotten in fights before, where Robin is not going to have any more to do with her, but yet she comes back. Are you gardening? Good for you. I'm doing a garden up north, but I'm not doing this big one. Because last year, oh my God, I got left with just about everything. And I'm feeling my age these days. You know what I like doing is I go out and I put my stereo on. We have the stereo inside. The computer is hooked up to the speakers outside. So we've got a speaker in the barn, and we've got another one out there that's on the patio. It's a fake rock. And I go out there, I turn that on, and I just garden. And next thing you know, like 2 hours go by, I've got a bit of a tan. I'll put the kids in a playpen in the shade and just garden away. Then, break for lunch, and that's about it. I integrated the herbs with the flowers this year, the flower beds, which is kind of nice because if you walk up the one side porch, we've got some just jagged stones, like nothing, flat stones. There's a lot of shale up there, and it's like this big dark gray stone that's kind of flat, and when it gets wet it turns black. It's really pretty, but I planted thyme all in between the cracks of it, so if you walk across it, all of a sudden you get this big woof of thyme. And I put in the front, because it's really sunny in the front, I put lavender there, so that when you walk up the steps, all of a sudden you get a big woof of lavender. I'm into tomatoes and hot peppers this year. Oh, cool. All the farmers markets are starting up. And yeah, it's fun to go to. Well, if you can grow hot peppers, you can grow garlic, And garlic's so easy to grow. Now up here, I can grow garlic, but not the big bulbs. They're smaller. And then all I do with them is once you put the garlic in, you just leave it alone. And then once it gets done, it's got this big long stem coming up from the ground. You just pull it out of the ground and lay it out. I lay mine out in the barn and I let it dry. And then at the end of the season, I braid it. And it gives me these nice little garlic heads. We have to try Yeah, I never have a lot of luck with cucumbers. Anything vining, for some reason I don't have a lot of luck with it. I put in enough to grow a couple pumpkins, but then again I put them in with flower beds because they vine so much, right? So I'm hoping this year to have our own pumpkins. And squash. I don't take up a bunch of room in my garden with squash. I grow that in amongst the flower beds because again it's vining. But yeah, I'll grow red peppers, green peppers. One year I grew these things called lantern peppers. Oh my God, they were Jamaican. Couldn't even eat them. Oh, you did. You know, speaking of watermelon, there's been a break in a contract between the government and the health department here. So I still belong to the union. So of course, they're picketing and all that crap. And it's my job to help out, You want to do that to be right, to be nice. And I couldn't go. So Chuck said, oh, I'll do it. I'll do it. So he went up the night before he was going to do it. And he bought 3 watermelon. And he bought a bunch of bottled water. And a couple bags of ice. And the next day, he cut up all that watermelon. And got the cooler filled with bottled water and took a chair down, and he did it for me. And they loved him so much that they told him to come back, and he's got a date to come back and pick it next week. It's hilarious. He calls them his kids because it's a lot. A lot of them are younger. John babied them as if I don't think I've ever tried to grow watermelon. I would love it if I could. I might try it. Now I grow a lot of beans, green beans. It's another thing I like to grow. I grow green onions. I grow shallots. I grow tons of tomatoes, different kinds. And, like everybody helps with the weeding and the watering, and that ground is so fertile because for years when I burned wood in the fireplace, I sprinkled the ash over the lawn. And ash is one of the best. It can't be like dirty ash. It's got to be wood ash. And in my fireplaces, or my wood stove, I always used really good wood because you didn't want to screw up the chimney. So, once I had a bucket full, I would go out and sprinkle it throughout the lawn. You started potatoes? Cool. So I can do my garden without any fertilizer whatsoever or manure or anything like that. Now at the end of this season, I might have to, we'll have to see how things go because it hasn't been fertilized in years. And my daughter is not really using her wood furnace. Oh yeah, like the garden too, like my lawn too. The lawn up there was just, if you let that grass grow and did not cut it and let it say grow 4 inches, about 4 inches. When you would cut that, it was just clumps because it was so thick. And I never used a bit of fertilizer on it, just ash. But since they put the new cottage up there, a lot of that dirt got disturbed. And there were patches last year. So I told my daughter, I said, what you got to do is get that wood furnace going. Because she had the old wood stove replaced with a wood furnace. And I said, start using that ash. And it's so much better. You know, you're not using poisons or pesticides and that type of thing. So I'm going to let y'all go. I just wanted to come on and let you know that Darlene's shows yesterday were edited. And the only person capable of editing those shows is Robin. And the reason Robin did it is because of Dar's stupidity. But, like I said, she'll deny it. And she knows that I'm not going to take the time to show everybody. But Mike might. So, have a great day, everybody, and thanks for coming in, Rhonda. And thanks for coming in, Weird Al. And y'all have a great day. Bye now.